have so many awards in my room, I have so many certificates in my room, I have so many things I've done, but there's something which is missing. And that is the feeling when you get is when is off the purpose of life. One of my favorite author or favorite role model, I would say, the Steve Jobs. He said, whenever I get up in the morning and look at the mirror, and when I see myself that something is missing, is something that I need to discover, that I need to bring a change in me. And that's something he kept chasing himself. You are surrounded by the people who are bringing you down. Very apt, right? Very much. Now this is again a sign of a human being or a human connect, where you, people around you, will not support you for what you're trying to be, right? One of the famous quotes by Jim Rohn, he says, you are the average of 5 people you spend the time with. I'm sure some of you would remember. So now those 5 people is something that you need to figure it out and find out who is that. Now something that people are not trying to encourage, not trying to push you to extreme, to do your best, or not trying to bring out the best in you is when you're off the purpose of life. You're not being in the company which is helping you to develop yourself. You're ignoring your dreams because you're scared to move on. I'm sure one or the other person will definitely have some of the other dreams to achieve. Not just in the profession, but definitely in your personal life. To conquer your fear, to conquer something. But then what is stopping you? The fear of failure. I'm sure most of you would agree with me. The fear of failure is something that I want to try, but then constantly the fear which stuck in you back now. Which always tells you that I'm not ready for it now. Now if I had to correct myself back when I was 10 years old and when I was asked to come down and speak in a public, and that is something which I was scared about, shit about, and I used to get so feared that what am I going to go and talk about it. But then now, after 7 years down the lane, when I constantly tried myself to improve on my skill and overcome my fear, now I can proudly say that this is something that I have conquered. So that's the fear which always tries to stop you from your dreams. I'm sure you want to have a best company you want to work with, somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur, someone you want to achieve something for your family, for your kids, for your partners, but something that is stopping you is something that is the fear of failure. You're working in a job that depletes your energy. Yes, I see a lot of people here, I myself is part of it, but then when you intend to do a job which depletes your energy is a sign which calls you off from the purpose of life. You know, it's scientifically proven and it's said that whenever there is a job that you would want to do it, a job defines you by calling. And when it starts by calling is when you energizes you the energy. It doesn't deplete the energy. Have you ever found the purpose of life where you're doing your job which actually depletes your energy or it gives the extra energy to perform you better? Now these are the drawbacks, the things which helps us to stop finding our true purpose of life, which we get lost into various things and we get stuck. You feel stuck in the rat race but don't know the next step. Very important, right? We get stuck in something that we get lost across. What am I supposed to do, the self-development? And then over the years, over the time you pass on and then you remember that I wish I had a one day. Imagine today is your last day of your life. And how would you want to spend that? How do you want to connect yourself to that? It's something that you need to figure it out and find out. And when you don't find it out is when is a sign for your call of purpose. So I leave it to you all to figure it out which category of, kind of the consequences you fall under and try to go back and question it and figure it out. How do you want to get out of this to find your true purpose? Now, one of the famous quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson said, live your life to the fullest. So the purpose of life is not to be happy, it should be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, and to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Now this is something which all of us must understand, that each of the day has to be counted in a very different way. Now imagine human mind has this, as per the Harvard search, human mind has this very drastic way of running so many thoughts in our mind. So can someone tell how much was the average number of thoughts runs per minute in the human brain? What are the number of thoughts? Any guesses?
We women think more than men.
What are the numbers? Women think more than men? Yeah, that's a great competition, but give me the number.
We keep multitasking, it's so much. Men can only take one at a time.
Absolutely. So if I have to witness it right now, I'm standing here and speaking, and I'm sure 50% of the audience are thinking, what is the refreshment for? What is that lunch I'm going to have today? What am I planning my weekend today? Where am I going to go? Am I going to go back to the office and work, or I'm going to go back to the family or my friends, or someone is waiting for me? Yes? I'm sure that little noise which is there in your brain is triggering you and trying to deviate you from what I'm trying to speak. Or some of the brain which is sitting here says, oh, you are nothing in front of me. I know everything. I'm the boss of my own. You please don't teach me. Yeah? So I'm not saying this. Little noise which is there inside, the internal dialogue, what I call upon, is what it triggers us. And trust me, as per the Harvard researcher, it said there's 1,500 thoughts which keeps running every minute, every single minute in human brain. You're lost in your priorities, you're lost in your thoughts, you're lost in your ideas, you're lost in your day-to-day activities, and that is when you don't know what is your purpose of life. And you don't know what resolutions to make. And that's something which you need to figure it out and understand why is it so important to have the purpose in whatever you do. I like this man. He's Dr. Viktor Frankl. He is the Australian neurologist and a psychiatrist, and also a very famous author of a book called Man Searching the Meaning of Life. And what he says is, life is empty and meaningless. I repeat, life is empty and meaningless. What you do is what you create of life. And what he says brings a very good, important contrast between what is happiness and what is success. He says, don't aim at the success. You know, it's a process of what you do. What you do is, to the journey is what your happiness is about. Now let me go back to your childhood days and make you recollect. Remember your parent, your dad or mom or your brother, when they took you when you were 6 years old or probably 8 years old, and then when you wanted to learn the bicycle, right? And they made you sit on it and they tried to make you run. You must have fallen many times, you must have cracked your knees, you must have hurt your elbows or whatsoever. But then one day, when they didn't hold you back and they told you, you can do it, my son, you just went off the board and you started started riding the cycle. Now that's the journey of when you started to the end. But what we do is, we always as a human being, when you are in the corporate level or whenever we are working in the corporate, we are deviated from what is success and what means to be happy, what is happiness. We only chase success thinking that when I become a successful is when I get happiness. But my dear friends, let me urge you, success is not happiness. The journey, what you design to reach, to become successful is when you get the happiness out of it. And that's what beautifully Viktor Frankl says about it. Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it, make it a target, the more you're going to miss it. For success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It is ensue, and it only does so the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to cause the greater than oneself, or by byproduct of one's surrender to the person other than oneself. So he says, choose whether you want to be happy or choose whether you want to be successful. Another interesting contrast, dimension of what could be the purpose of life, said by Winston Churchill. He says, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. How many of you are here who loves or who thinks purpose of life, or I feel happy when I give something to others, or when I share my knowledge to others? How many of you feel that? Yeah, I see a couple of hands going up. But then that itself is again a happiness, which most of us doesn't identify that. In today's corporate world, we only focus on ourselves. We only focus on our self-development. We only focus on our self-improvement. We only focus on our self-achievements. But are you really contributing something to the society? Are you really contributing something to the neighboring people who are around? Please remember, we are not individual. We are always surrounded by the people. In office, you're surrounded by the colleagues. At home, you have the family. And everywhere, you have the people around. So it's nevertheless, you cannot stop yourself from what you want to give. Now, how do you contribute, or how do you want to live, give it what is something that to offer a health family, volunteer with the NGOs towards some cause, visit the orphanage and spend time with them, be a tutor for students or the kids, spread awareness about the good health or any knowledge that you would want to share, fix or serve meals for the underprivileged. Now this is something, a very interesting thing of delivering the purpose of life. right? Now most of us are very self-centered in what we're trying to do, but then we don't figure it out. When I give others, what happiness will I get will be doubled. So it's always, one of the interesting quotes is, what you give is more than what you get. Now that we know the different dimensions of purpose of life, when I said different dimensions, we spoke about how happiness is different from successful, how what you give is what you get more, and also different various things. Now let's try to find yourself. Let's find out yourself. So one of his posts says that the intersection of your true values and the superpowers backed with the relentless passion is where the magic happens. Right? Now why do you think some people are actually successful and they have reached at great level? You must have favorite role models. You must be following somebody because I like him, maybe a sport person, maybe a politician, maybe a Bollywood actor, or maybe a spokesperson. Why do you think they've achieved something that they could do it? Are they born different? Or have they got some distinct, intense, intelligent, or the talent that none of us would ever have in this room? Why do you think?
It's the belief, it's the confidence level.
Absolutely. The belief and the confidence level that they have inculcated in themselves has taken up to the level that they are right now. And which we think that it's an extra born talent or extra thing that stops you. But then, my dear friends, when I have to talk about finding yourself is something which is very simple. Which says your values, your strengths and the passion, when you inculcate together and imbibe them, is when you find your purpose. So when you don't know what's your value, when you don't know what's your strength, and when you don't know what's your passion, what is that you're passionate about, you cannot have or you cannot lead a life of a purpose. What you're living is not equal to a life what you're supposed to live. I have a small activity. Now this is something for you all to figure it out, right? So there are some 3 simple questions, and you don't have to stress too much to think about what am I going to do about, what am I going to think about. 90 seconds is the maximum time where you can actually put the mind on your time and think about it. What is that you want to experience in life? How do you want to contribute to the community? And how do you want to grow and develop yourself? And the first 30 seconds, the things or the ideas or the thoughts, what you get to your mind is what brings that change in you. And now that is something which you have to find in yourself and try to figure it out how you want to accomplish yourself. Now if I had to share a quick, small, short story about me, this is when I figured it out. 5 years down the lane is when I started figuring out what is that something in me that I could contribute to others. All my friends were chasing the same rat race. All my friends were chasing the same horse race. But what is that I'm doing apart from my personal or professional life to the community or to the society? Is when I discovered one fine day, there was a kid on the road and I was passing by. I saw him talking to another kid on the road where he was talking in Kannada and the other person was trying to reply him in English. And he was trying to sarcastically condemn him, saying that you're not good as me, you're not good as me, or you're not capable of me. And that's when I saw that it somewhere hit me that something wrong is with this society or with the thing where we as an individual, we as a capable are not able to contribute to the society. And that's when I started getting into the empowerment. And today I train, I kind of educate, I'm associated with various NGOs and organizations where I go and train people on communication, train people on soft skilling, train people on how to speak to the others. And that's when it gives them power to get confidence, to build confidence in themselves. So find yourself, find what's your passion and try to lead that purpose so that it doesn't serve you but it also serves others. Second thing, very important thing is believe in yourself. I'm sure Bharti said it, believe in yourself. So when I believe myself, my confidence doubles up, right? A very simple thing which I would want to highlight it. Most of us say believe in yourself, believe in yourself. Parents said believe in yourself, wife said believe in yourself, husband said believe in yourself. But are we really believing ourselves? Have you ever questioned yourself? And when I believe in myself, why am I failing? But let me tell you, failure is okay. If you fail, it's just okay. But now we are in the concept that if I fail, I cannot digest the fact. Human brain has got this very interesting thing. When I tell my brain that I never, don't, do or something, I tend to do that. Right? And when I say I am confident, my brain just takes myself in a way that I am confident to do anything, any task that I get into. Try this out and figure it out. Another interesting thing to make yourself believe more is by using affirmations. I'm sure some of you must be using affirmations, but then I ideally use myself is I'm the best, I can do it, and everything is possible. So when I say that or when I do that, my brain functions in the same way. And some of the interesting 3P formula for writing the affirmations is personal, present, and positive. Personal, it says always use I, because it's really reflecting to you. When I, as an individual, when I say it, is when you tend to do it. Use I because it's all about you and your belief system. And present is when you use your present tense and not the future and past, because our brain will start working only on it. When I use the affirmations, I can, I will, I can achieve it, is when you tend to do more. And then finally, use the positive words. So try using 3 affirmations every day and try to see the transformation that you would like to see. This is one of the interesting slides which kind of focus on it. They say the more we see is the more our brain functions. Right? So why do you think when we were kids, we have always used to watch our parents, watch our teachers? We hardly used to study in the school. No matter, we used to carry a lot of books in our bag, had so much of handwritten homeworks to do and everything, but still we used to watch the parents, and still we watched the teacher. And when you grow up, your siblings or your relatives used to say, you are just like your mother, and you're just like your dad, and you're just like your uncle, or you're just like your aunt. So what human brain talks about is, I'm sure if I was not a dentist, I would definitely be a psychologist, because it's a very interesting thing which says that the more we see, whatever we would want to see is the more what we achieve. Now that is something is what believing in yourself will bring a transformation in you. The more you use the affirmation, the more you stick onto it. So make it an activity where you tend to write at least 3 affirmations in a day. Right? Stick onto your desk or keep it as your wallpaper, or probably keep it at home, your study table or whatsoever, and try to focus on that.